You think Disney World is the safest, happiest place on Earth, a bubble where nothing bad ever happens. I used to think that too, until I started digging into the history and uncovered stories that most visitors will never hear. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain to reveal the dark truths, from ghost stories to real-life tragedies that changed park policies forever. We're going to cover 9 specific secrets, starting with a common myth and ending with life-saving safety lessons. You need to hear this, because missing even one of these secrets, you could be missing a tip that'll make your trip safer or spookier. Secret number 1: the kidnapping myth versus reality. Let's kick things off by confronting a rumor that refuses to die. The story of children being abducted from Disney parks and whisked away through secret tunnels. It sounds like the plot of a bad thriller or Pinocchio, but social media keeps it alive. A widely shared deepfake video even made it look as if Joe Rogan described a kidnapping in 2023. Investigators found no evidence of any abduction, and Anaheim police confirmed they weren't investigating any child abductions at or near the Disney resorts. The police spokesman bluntly called the claim unfounded. In other words, the kidnapping story is a myth. So why does this legend persist? Disney parks are huge and packed with people. Kids do get separated from their parents, about 30 in a day. And in the chaos, those few minutes can feel like hours. But getting lost is not the same as being abducted. In fact, lost children or lost parents are so common that Disney developed an entire code system around it. In the 1970s, the Magic Kingdom averaged more than 11,000 lost children a year, but most were unharmed. Cast members have elaborate protocols to reunite families, and they practice them constantly. When a child is reported missing, cast members quietly communicate through radios and code words, lock down exits if necessary, and watch for small wanderers. According to a veteran Disney historian, there were 11,420 reported lost children in the 12 months before a famous 1977 tragedy we'll cover later in this video. Despite this tragedy, all other lost children that year were found safe. The deepfake looked so convincing because scammers used AI to mimic a celebrity voice, even mentioning supposed secret tunnels and security badges. By the time police debunked the claim, millions had viewed it. The episode shows how easily misinformation travels when it plays on parents' fears. Distinguishing between tall tales and real safety issues is essential to enjoying your vacation and not spreading panic. Occasionally, Amber Alerts for missing children near Orlando ping guests' phones. A 2024 alert briefly interrupted fireworks, but the child was found safe. Here are some insider tips for parents. Snap a daily photo of your kids so cast members know what to look for. Write your phone number on a card tucked into your child's pocket so they can have a cast member contact you. Pick a family meeting spot in each park and show your kids where to go if you get separated. Notify a cast member immediately if you lose sight of a child. They're trained to coordinate a swift reunion. Those simple preparations make a huge difference. Secret number 2: the hidden world of lost child protocols. Cast members refer to a missing child as a lost adult to avoid panic. They follow a strict checklist, comfort the child, gather identifying details, and quietly alert security. A child is escorted to a reunification area near guest services while surveillance cameras and limited exits help security track their path. These safeguards make abduction nearly impossible. You might hear cast members use code phrases like lost adult or white powder alert when communicating about a missing child. These euphemisms keep nearby guests calm while comforting the child. Cast members will ask lighthearted questions about their favorite characters to keep them engaged and glean information. Security uses the description you provide to track the child via cameras and deploy cast members to watch key points. The goal is to reunite families quickly without causing a scene. If you should become a lost adult, visit the baby care center in each park. These air-conditioned oases serve as reunification points and offer a comforting glimpse into the system. Cast members there can answer questions and help you feel prepared. Secret number 3: Pirates of the Caribbean has a resident ghost. Ready for something spookier? Pirates of the Caribbean has its own ghost story. Legend says a young construction worker named George died during the ride's construction, and cast members still greet him at the start and end of their shifts. When they forget, the ride supposedly breaks down. Visitors whisper about cold spots and phantom footsteps near the burning city scene. Some also claim to see two female apparitions called the Ladies near the drop. Whether you believe it or not, the story adds intrigue to the attraction. George's legend is only part of the pirate's lore. Some cast members insist the ghost occasionally calls the ride's control booth from lines that have been physically disconnected. One story involves a teenager scattering her brother's ashes on the ride. The boat allegedly stalled until the ashes were removed. While there's no official confirmation of these incidents, cast members pass them down like campfire tales. They remind us that Disney attractions have decades of history and that guests bring their own emotions and memories into the experience. When you ride, stay alert for cold spots or unexplained delays. If the boat stops, a cheeky "sorry, George" might amuse you. For an extra thrill, ask to sit toward the back of the boat. Some say that's where the cold spots are most noticeable. If you're a regular, strike up a conversation with an older cast member. They might share a ghost anecdote that doesn't appear on any blog. So that's the story of George, but if you think he's the only spirit roaming the parks, you are dead wrong. What I'm about to reveal about the Haunted Mansion and Tower of Terror makes George look friendly by comparison. You might want to leave the lights on for this next part. Secret number 4. Haunted Mansion, Tower of Terror, and other real-world haunts. Haunted Mansion isn't the only place with ghost stories. Cast members tell of a man with a cane who appears on the ride late at night and then vanishes, or a little boy who rides alone and disappears. Over at Tower of Terror, some say a former bellhop haunts the loading platform, flickering lights and disrupting the ride. Tom Sawyer Island and Spaceship Earth have their own tales of shadowy figures. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, sites like Orlando Haunts lean into these legends. The list of supernatural encounters goes on. In the Haunted Mansion queue, some guests have reported hearing a child crying behind them when no one was there, and others have captured strange orbs of light in their photos. At Tower of Terror, a maintenance worker once told a blogger that he saw a shadowy figure in a service elevator that shouldn't have been operating. Epcot's Spaceship Earth has a rumored spirit named Julie, who supposedly messes with animatronics during off hours. Whether these incidents are paranormal or simply quirks of old attractions, they keep cast members on their toes and add texture to Disney's storytelling. Ask a cast member about the ghost tales. You might hear an off-the-record story. Ride after dark for maximum atmosphere. If spooky stories aren't your thing, focus on the ride's artistry. If you're serious about ghost hunting, linger near the exit at closing time. The park is quiet and you'll hear creaks and whispers you might miss during the day. Just remember that cast members are working. Don't wander into restricted areas. Secret number 5. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride takes you straight to hell. If you grew up with the Magic Kingdom version of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, you might remember it as a quaint, somewhat chaotic romp through English villages. What many guests never realized is that Mr. Toad dies at the end of the ride, and then you go straight to hell. Seriously, the ride's designers wanted to give guests a twist ending. So after careening through Toad Hall, a village square, a dock full of TNT, and a courtroom where you're declared guilty, your car enters a dark railway tunnel. There's a blinding headlight and a screech of brakes and crash. You're hit by a train. Immediately afterward, you pass under a demonic face with sharp teeth and the word "Welcome" written in flames. Then weave among devils waving pitchforks and laughing. The room is heated so you actually feel the fire. Finally, a green dragon tries to roast you before your vehicle bursts through a set of doors and back into daylight. Not exactly the happy ending you'd expect after a day of eating Mickey bars. The finale wasn't in the film. Imagineer Bill Martin proposed the train crash and hell scene, and Walt Disney approved it. Mental Floss notes that Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is the only Disney attraction that kills its passengers and sends them to hell. The Magic Kingdom version, closed in 1998, mirrored the scene on 2 tracks. If you're visiting Disneyland in California, make time for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Sit on the left side of the car so you have a better view of the flaming welcome sign. And keep in mind that this dark humor might be intense for small children. A good strategy is to watch a ride-through on YouTube with your kids before your trip, so there are no surprises. Secret number 6. River Country's tragic past. River Country, Disney World's first water park, opened in 1976. In 1980, an 11-year-old boy contracted amoebic meningoencephalitis after swimming there. Health officials explained that the amoeba thrives in any warm freshwater lake and that the incident was a freak occurrence. The park worked closely with health authorities and kept testing the water. River Country remained open until 2001. There were never any other amoeba cases, though 2 teens drowned in 1982 and 1989. These stories remind us that natural water carries risks, even at Disney. If you plan to enjoy Disney's current water parks or hotel pools, keep children within arm's reach, especially in natural or lake-like areas. Florida waters, even man-made lagoons, can harbor wildlife and microorganisms. Always heed posted signs and lifeguard instructions. Wear water shoes to protect your feet and avoid jumping or diving into unknown depths. And yes, the parks regularly test water quality. For the safest splashes, stick to Disney's dedicated water parks and resort pools. These bodies of water are chlorinated and monitored continuously. Remember that even a lazy river can have currents strong enough to separate you from a child, so encourage your kids to wear brightly colored swimsuits so lifeguards can spot them quickly. Alright, you've survived ghost stories, hellish rides, and a water park with a dark past. Ready for the final stretch? We still need to talk about the alligators lurking beneath Disney's pristine boardwalks and the accidents that pushed the company to rethink safety forever. Buckle up. The last few secrets are the most jaw-dropping. Secret number 7. The alligator attack that shocked the world. In 2016, 2-year-old Lane Graves was playing at the Grand Floridian when an alligator dragged him into the Seven Seas Lagoon. Despite his father's efforts, Lane drowned. The beach had no swimming signs but no gator warnings. Wildlife officials noted it was the first alligator fatality in Disney's history, and that attacks are rare. Disney subsequently installed fences and gator warning signs around waterways and removed alligators from guest areas. The search for Lane involved local law enforcement, wildlife officers, and Disney's own security teams combing the lagoon through the night. His body was recovered the next day, a heartbreaking moment for everyone on the property. In the aftermath, Disney cordoned off beaches, built new rock walls, and posted prominent "Beware of alligators and snakes" signs. Alligators are opportunistic feeders. They lurk quietly in shallow water and strike when something small comes close to the edge. Florida is home to more than 1 million alligators, and they can appear in any freshwater body. They're most active at dusk and dawn, which is why Disney now closes beaches after dark. Never feed or approach a gator. Feeding them makes them associate people with food and increases the likelihood of attacks. No matter where you stay at Walt Disney World, respect the water. Never enter lakes or lagoons, even if the water looks shallow. Heed no swimming and beware of alligators and snakes signs. Keep small children away from the edge of natural bodies of water. If you see a gator, report it to a cast member immediately. And remember, the attack on Lane Graves was the first fatal alligator incident in the resort's history. Millions of visitors have enjoyed Disney without incident. At many resorts, there are sandy beach areas with chairs and fire pits. These are for enjoying the view, not for entering the water. Avoid dangling your feet off docks or feeding fish from the shoreline. Movements attract gators. Stick to designated pools and splash pads for playtime. If you're staying near a waterway, close your curtains at night. Outdoor lights can draw bugs, which in turn attract small critters that gators prey on. Secret number 8. Tragic drowning accidents. Disney's safety record is remarkable given its millions of visitors, but accidents still occur. In 1977, 4-year-old Joel Good climbed a low fence near Cinderella Castle and drowned in the moat. A lawsuit argued the barrier was too short. Disney later raised fences and added warnings. In 2015, a 3-year-old drowned at Art of Animation after wandering into a pool, underscoring the need for constant supervision. In 2010, an 11-year-old cyclist veered into the path of a Disney bus and was killed. There have also been rare mechanical accidents, such as a 2009 monorail crash that killed the pilot and a 2004 parade float incident. These events remind us to respect barriers, obey safety instructions, and remain aware. Joel Good's death in 1977 triggered an in-depth review of railings and fences. During the trial, lawyers demonstrated that 22 of 23 children could scale a 31-inch fence in less than 5 seconds. Disney argued that taller barriers would ruin sightlines, but the jury ruled they should have anticipated the hazard. The Art of Animation drowning showed how quickly a toddler can slip away, even in a busy pool area. The Wilderness Lodge bus accident prompted new signage and training for both drivers and bicyclists. Investigators blamed a switching error for the fatal monorail collision, and the Pluto Parade incident led to changes in float design and rehearsal protocols. Each tragedy spurred policy changes that made the parks safer today. Secret number 9. Hidden human remains. The real deal behind the myths. Believe it or not, some of Disney's spookiest secrets involve actual human remains. When the original Pirates of the Caribbean opened at Disneyland in 1967, Imagineers were unhappy with the look of fake skeletons, so they sourced real ones from UCLA's medical school. As technology improved, the bones were returned and replaced with replicas, though some former cast members still whisper that a genuine skull sits on the headboard in the captain's quarters scene over there in Disneyland. Today, the far more common human remains story involves guests scattering a loved one's ashes inside the parks. Custodians encounter this roughly once a month, often in haunted attractions, Pirates of the Caribbean, or even flower beds. Disney has a special HEPA cleanup protocol for these incidents. When ash is detected, the ride is shut down, and a HEPA filter vacuum sucks up the remains, which are treated as biohazardous waste. Because human ashes are considered a biohazard, guests caught scattering them can be removed or even banned from the parks. And, for the record, Walt Disney is not cryogenically frozen under Cinderella Castle or Pirates. He was cremated, and his ashes were interred at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. So, while Disney's haunted legends are fun, please don't try to add your own. So, what do these stories teach us? First, always respect signs and barriers. Joel Good's tragedy shows how a low fence was enough to tempt a child, and after his death, Disney increased fence heights and added warning signs. Second, supervise kids around water. The Art of Animation and river country drownings happen because children slipped away for just a moment. Third, stay within designated areas when biking or walking. The 2010 bus accident occurred when a child veered off the sidewalk. Remember that Disney's scale means the risk of accidents can never be zero. Millions of visitors enjoy the park safely every year, but complacency is the enemy. We've journeyed through myths, ghost stories, and real tragedies, showing that even the happiest place on Earth has darker corners. Knowing these secrets doesn't spoil the magic, it empowers you. Take daily photos of your kids, respect water and barriers, and maybe say hi to George. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you experienced anything spooky at Disney? Share your story in the comments. If this video surprised you, like and share it, and subscribe for more deep dives. There's another video on screen. Click it, and I'll see you there. Your adventure is just beginning.